I've been like looking at my hair in the little viewer thing right here. It's like it looks so yellow right now from the lighting. And I also have to get my highlights done again. Anyways. Welcome to today's video. I am going to be sitting down to talk about my August wrap up and then my September TBR. That's it. Let's get into it. For August, I only read, which is like a norm for me. I feel like 5 to 7 are like my normal average monthly wrap ups. I just wish it was at 7. I feel like I could have read 7, but I was in a reading slump because of one book and one book only, and we already know what that book was, Canon G7X. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. There are 3 romances, 1 fantasy, and then 1 thriller, mystery, FBI. So these are all of the 5 books that I read this month. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it wasn't that much like any crazy, happy, really excited times to read, I guess. If I'm being honest, like nothing really got me really excited to read. Like these books, other than Canon G7X, was just, it was fun to read, but I wasn't addicted to reading. That's how it felt this month. I wasn't addicted to reading. My Goodreads is always in the description if you ever want to follow it, so go ahead and do that if you want to. Okay, there's a whole error thing on Goodreads right now, so I'm gonna just kind of have to remember my ratings. I don't really remember them, which is First book that I finished in August was Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I've been reading this on the audiobook. I was doing running class and I was like, this is the perfect time to just sit down and read, like sprint my heart out and listen to an audiobook. And so I read this one and I have a lot of thoughts and they weren't good ones. The only good thing about this was there were a lot of cute aspects to it and just like little cutesy things. I love Lynn Painter always has like that cute little rom-com-y aspects to it. That's the only thing I liked about this book. Now into the the cons, okay? The whole point of this book is that they're putting a bet on their 2 co-workers who are like really flirting together, except Lynn Painter forgets to mention that the girl is already in a 3-year relationship. And so technically Bailey and what the heck is his name? Charlie are pretty much betting to see if her best friend will cheat on her 3-year boyfriend. That was the biggest red flag I had. I don't like that. That was very gross and very immature. My second thing was they both came from families that were divorced. Bailey's mom was starting to see a new guy and they tried their hardest to get the guy out of her mom's life. That felt so immature to me, and it was like every single time she had an issue with their relationship or things were moving too quick, instead of communicating it and trying to allow her mom to be happy, she actually ignored it and didn't tell anyone about it, which is very frustrating. Nothing's gonna be like, they can't read your mind, babe. You know, I know that this is, I don't know if this is YA or if it's ages 14 and up, so young adult, right? Yes. Didn't like it. It was just very immature. It was just gross. It was very icky. And then on top of that, I didn't really like Charlie and Bailey. Like, they had those cute little aspects to each other. Charlie treated Bailey so crappy towards the end and was like gaslighting and belittling her, and I just felt very icky. I would have been totally fine if they didn't happen at the end. So this was a 2-star for me because I did not like this at all. Like, no. I love the cover. The only thing I liked about this book, I was getting so annoyed listening to it on my runs because I was just like, I hate it, just leave. Like, I'm just really trying not to DNF it. The next book that I have read is Kingdom of Ash. I only had like a couple more pages, not a couple, I had like half the book left during this month, and it took me a good bit to finish it. That's why I had the audiobook so I could listen while I was trying to get through this one. This was the best way a wonderful, amazing fantasy series could have ended. Everything about this, I could go on to talk about it. Just the plot, how every little piece came together, how all the characters were never smaller than others. Like, everyone had a reason for being there. And I always hate when like we add new characters into fantasy books and we see like nothing of them. Everyone had equal parts in this, and she made sure that someone had something to do and someone had a reason for being there. On top of that, I bawled my eyes out so many times. Even things that weren't sad. Happy things, surprising things, shocking things, literally anything. In the beginning it was a lot of stress and anxiety, but towards the end I was literally loving this, eating this up. Man and Dorian, need to see where that happened. Really need to see what happened there. Literally just and all. Like, this was such a good fantasy series, and the plot and the dynamics to the plot were just so spectacular. Like, the littlest things that you thought weren't important were. Like, everything comes together for reasons. Yeah, I think Katelyn is spectacular, and I'm so glad that she is where she is meant to be. So this is a 6-star read for me. Literally had so much fun. There's no way that I was not gonna give it less than a 5-star. I just had such a good time, and but yeah, I was just utterly obsessed with this. Everything about this was so perfect and so wonderful. If you want to know my thoughts and feelings on it, I have a spoiler 24-hour readathon on it, and then I also have a non-spoiler 24-hour readathon on it if you haven't seen it. If you have, thank you. But yeah, everything in here, never ever bored. I was never bored, not even for a second. This is the next book. Okay, the following books are 3 that are going to be in a new reading vlog coming up, which actually that should be up before this video, so I'll go into depth on everything. So the next book that I read was Flawless by Elsie Silver, and this is the next book in the Chestnut Springs. I don't really have a lot to say, and I liked this, but also it didn't feel very spectacular. Like, all the hype that I've heard surrounding this book, I feel like I was just kind of like along for the ride, no pun intended. Nothing crazy happened. There's this plot that basically, like, Rhett was supposed to have like a babysitter who was going to be Summer, and that happens, but it didn't happen. Like, I feel like that part of the plot really fell flat. I did enjoy their romance, their banter, the sexiness of this book, but also I needed more, like, emotionally. I feel like they didn't have anything there. Like, it was kind of just spit out from like the air. Like, I didn't see any of that, so I feel like that was missing. But I do really like all the characters and how they were all like bantering with each other. It really reminded me of Hannah Grace's Maple Hill series, and like how everyone is like brothers and they all like joke with each other. So I did have fun with that. The romance was good, but I just felt like something was missing. I haven't thought about this book, but I'm excited that I started the Chestnut Springs. I just thought that this would have, from all the hype that it had, I thought I would like it more, but I just gave this one, I think, a 3.7 or 3.5 stars. It was a little better than like halfway, you know, but I still just like, I haven't thought about it. People have said like the other books get better. We'll see, but I still enjoyed their story, and I'm glad I got their story. And then the next book that I read, and I'm so freaking glad that I finally read it and completed the series, is Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I had a blast with this book. Okay, this one did take me a little bit longer. I said it in the reading vlog, but basically it just felt like the sparks that were there in the first book kind of went away, and I think that was just my personal hype of how excited I was from the series. It kind of just got like here because I wasn't so hyped up, I guess, from it. I still had such a good time with this. Everything came together really well. This is very close to a 5-star, but I think it's falling flat just because the ending really felt rushed. I think everything came together in like 30 pages. It took like 300 just to get to the ending. So I was just a little meh about it just because I wanted more to happen, and I wanted it to, like, you know, slow down so I could finally, you know, I just wanted the ending to slow down. That was my only thing. Other than that, this one felt a little slow, but I think it was also because I didn't have time to read it. And so sometimes when it takes me forever to finish a book, it's not because I am not enjoying reading it, it's because I have no time to read it. Fortunately, sometimes that gets in the way of how I like the book because, like, I'm annoyed by it. So this one took me a very long time to read, but it's also because I just didn't have time. So I'm not gonna like say it was like a terrible book or anything, but that's like the only thing that ticks me off, is like it took me forever to finish it. I still really did enjoy it, and there were so many plot twists in it. Not just like the 1 or 2, like there were so many, and I didn't see any of them coming. Like, I was shocked by all of them, and I'm still thinking about all of the plot twists that we went through, and it's like crazy how it fits so perfect. So yeah, this one I gave a 4.75 stars. I just had a fun time with it. I love Jennifer Lynn's books, and they're just very fun, quick, and easy for me to finish. I finished a whole series in like a year. That doesn't happen with me. Sometimes I'll get like tired of the series. I do feel like I pushed myself on this. Like, I wasn't in the mood to read this, but I did read it anyways. And the last and final book that I read this month is The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. This one I have some thoughts about. Originally, I thought that it was basically this guy was cheating on all 3 of these women, and they all got set up on Valentine's Day, and they all met and they like took revenge on him. I was really keen on that, and I don't know why that was what I was thinking, but basically all 3 of these women are dating the same man, and they all get stood up on Valentine's Day, but they all start to like fall in love with him. There's a whole thing about this book, and I saw it from Haley Fan, where she said that there's more to it than meets the eye, and I totally 100% agree. The ending was so good. I just wish I cared. That's the problem, because The ending, the only reason I kept reading was because I wanted to seriously know why he was doing this. I was so excited that what was revealed at the end was revealed, and I understood why, and you know, my heart hurt for him. The story itself was very boring, very slow, and I think the problem and the reason was it was said in the synopsis that he was seeing 3 women at once, and my first instinct is cheating. And so I didn't like the book, and I didn't root for their relationships because, oh, Carter's cheating. Other than that, this book was just very slow and very slow moving, and I just didn't have a lot of fun with it. I almost DNF'd a couple times too, but I told myself like to keep going. Just wish I enjoyed this more. Like, I was really excited about this book and it just really didn't come through. This book is I'm still in the middle because I don't know. So I feel like before the ending would have happened, it would have been a 2-star. But because of the ending, I think it's a 2.75 star, or it's a 3-star. I don't know if it's like it boosts up to a whole other star because I really didn't like this until like the end bit. I don't know, but yeah, I still enjoyed it. So anyways, other than that, those are the books that I read this month, and I know it was a very slow month for me, but it's just seriously because I think personally when I have too much time to read, I don't want to read. That's such a frustrating thing to say, but it's so true. Like, I right now have no time to read because of school and work and just life is getting in the way, but I cannot stop thinking of wanting to read. Like, I want to read so incredibly bad, and it's so frustrating. Now we're gonna get into my September TBR, which is kind of a small one, but not. Let me grab the books. For September, I'm so incredibly excited for all the books that I decided to put on my TBR. It's a lot. The reason there's a lot is because I'm going back to North Carolina, so I will have some time, like a small little itty bitty vacation, just to be able to read some books. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my TBR, which is a lot, like I just said. So let me get into those super quickly, and I'm just so excited. Okay, so the first one that I'm gonna try to read is the 4th Heartstopper, okay? I have been thinking about this series so much recently, and all I want to do as well is just watch the TV show because season 3 is coming out, and apparently it's like everything, and I'm so excited. I still haven't finished season 1, but I'm also trying to take my time because like I don't want it to be over, but I miss it so much, so I might try to watch them tonight. But I just want to keep going and I want to catch up. So we only have the 5th one left right now. I think there's a 6th one coming out. That might be the ending one, or I'm not sure, but I am so excited right now because where we ended off on the 3rd book, we were talking more about Charlie's mental health, but I just feel like they're very close, and I think they're very close to saying the L word. I'm just so excited. Anything to get you guys to read this book, read it. I'm so serious. It has so much, and it just makes so much light in your life, like reading it. Like, that's how excited I am. So much light in my life. I have so much fun with these characters. So I would even watch the TV show because the TV show, the actors who present these characters are literally the best fits for them, and they like bring alive the characters. And then the following book I really want to get to because I didn't get to it in August because I was finishing that reading vlog is Daydream. I'm filming a video right now that hopefully I'll be able to get to this one because I'm trying to get to all of like the new releases that have been recent. I'm so incredibly excited about this one. Literally have no idea about this book, but I'm so excited. Like anything by Hannah Grace, like I just have such a good time going into her books and like imagining everything is so clearly to me. I just have such a fun time. I cannot wait to get into this, and it's gonna look, I think when I redo my bookshelf, I think I'm gonna put all of like the series together because I have like a lot more series recently, and I want the Maple Hills series books to be together. Like, they're gonna look so good. The next one is another new release that came out the beginning of this year, but I wasn't ready to read it. It's gonna be Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I love Ali Hazelwood. So far, all of her books except Check and Mate, I have really enjoyed. I still need to read this one and then the novellas for the STEM series, but this one is a whole different one. This one, I guess, is like the Omegaverse, and it's like vampires and werewolves. I tried the Fake Mate. And people say if you like that, you'll definitely like this one, but I didn't like it. Like, it was very like cringy to me, but I love Ali Hazelwood and I think that I can get into her books, and I wanted to keep this one for the fall time, obviously because Halloween's coming up, vampires and werewolves. Even though this isn't like very Halloween-y vibes, I don't think, I just really want to read it. No, this is like perfect for fall. A lot of these books are gonna kind of be in the fantasy, and then like there's like fall aspects in this. Next one I'm gonna be reading, it's gonna be The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is the first book. Whenever I was introduced to Ashley Poston, I saw this all over the place and I really wanted to read it because it's basically about Florence, and she's a ghostwriter, and she has to go back home because I think her father dies. Yeah, they own like a funeral parlor, and she sees a ghost there, but it's like her new editor. I thought of this, and I thought of the ghost and the fallness of this, and I'm so excited to read this finally. Again, I've been waiting for fall to read it. Anyways, to go on with Ashley Poston, I have a novel love story. I'm going to be finally reading this, and I have been, okay? Oh, you can't even see that. I have some tabs in there. I am on page 149 right now, so we're getting through it. Goes into her favorite books like town. Like somehow she ends up there, and there's this one dude that she can't place. This is one of my most anticipated other than Daydream. I cannot wait to read this. This is also on my 24 books for 2024, so I really want to read it. Next book that I want to read, and I'm gonna actually try to read it on my audiobook, is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This has been on my TBR the longest time. The biggest reason it took me a little bit to get to this book is because when I finished Serpent and Dove, I was just kind of like reading just for fun. Like, I didn't really read like, you know, 7 books a month or 5 books a month. So when I read it, I was like, this is a really good book, and then I was gonna read it, but I was in the midst of like senior year and everything, and I had no time to read it. So this one has just been sitting. I loved the first book, and it was just like always on my mind, so I really want to get to this book. I also just kind of forgot what happened, so we're gonna have to figure that out. The next book that I'm also reading right now, because my grandma was hyping it up so much, and I was like, I need to read it. Like, there's no way that I can just like look at her in the eye and be like, I loved the first book, but I haven't read the second book, and I am eating it up right now. Like, I'm having so much fun. I can't stop thinking about this book. Like, if I wanted to, I feel like I could finish it in a sitting. It's Iron Flame. Okay, so far I'm like 100 pages in. I'm on page 109 right now, which is chapter 11, but so far I'm really liking this, and the dynamics and everything that's happening in the plot right now, they're kind of like in danger. When I saw like a lot, when this came out and everyone was reading it, everyone was kind of saying that like the main characters just keep fighting and they're bickering, and it's just like very annoying. But I'm also like, I've seen a little bit, obviously, because there's tension from the first book, but also like it hasn't been overwhelming. But so far I'm so intrigued with what's happening in the plot, I don't even care about like the romance. I am having a blast with this, and I love the fantasy in this, so I hope that it keeps going well, because I feel like this could be a 5-star with how much I can't stop thinking about this book. Every second, usually when I wake up, I go on my phone, because that's how I am, and every other person on the planet. I go on my phone and scroll and scroll and scroll. But recently I've been waking up and wanting to reach for this book because I want to get whatever I can in before school. I'll probably read some later today too, but this is the next book, and this one is such like a big book that I'm definitely gonna put it to the side so that I can read some other books. Very excited to keep reading it. Like, it's so good right now. But that is the last book on my September TBR. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I like putting these videos together because they fit, because I have not that many books. You know, I'm okay with being like a slow reader and not reading that many books. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please bear with me with videos. I'm gonna try my best. You know, there's some gonna be up automatically. There's some they're gonna take a second, and you know, I might be able to get a second video out, but I'm sorry about that, but I'm gonna try my best. But thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please click a like and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so every single time I post. I'll see you guys in my next video. Enjoy school or whatever, and I'll see you guys in my next video.